Okay, good morning, guys. Yeah. Damn it, I forgot my fucking earbuds today again. I'm actually retarded. Yikes. NQ already down 100 points today. Okay. Why? Freaking 4970 is a Gex flip, but at the same time, like a negligible amount of gamma there. And then there's this 4900 positioning, interesting. Could be a very interesting day today. What is our 4-hour time frame showing? Excuse me. Once again, waiting for the data to settle, then we'll get some levels on the chart. Once we get some levels on the chart, then we should be set to kind of just watch and see what happens. What do I see? I really don't like how there's this random 4970 here. I wish it was more just negative. So then our Gex flip is at 8085. Yeah, another negative day, so it's gonna be tough to read. Figure it out. Figure it out. See, I think it's going to be relatively more choppy today because I think the entire fucking market is just waiting on this Nvidia earnings. It's just my personal opinion. I think for the market, Nvidia earnings is like the line in the sand per se. Like if Nvidia shits the bed, goodbye market. Oh, we'll see about that because Meta did well. Everyone so far has done pretty well for fourth quarter earnings, considering, right? If you think about it, everyone's done pretty solid. Oh, we have minutes at 2, so I wouldn't doubt we kind of just chop till then. Well, I'm gonna mute myself because I gotta cough really loudly. All right, because last time I blew somebody's ears out. What hour for Nvidia earnings? I think it's just right after market closes, or like hour before. Nvidia. Nvidia reporting fiscal quarter ending January. Yeah, so this is a big one tomorrow, or yeah, today. Didn't telecom shit the bed or something? But yeah. Good morning, guys. 69 people watching. Let's go. Nice. Even NQ is awful looking. I think Gex Flip is the main one to watch for today. Yeah, yes. You're looking at raw Gex Flip. No, yeah, I'm looking at the raw Gex Flip. It's at 80. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Thoughts on Gex Flip at 70? I would wait for 80 personally. The small Gex Flip in the middle, to me, is not like a line in the sand, I guess, per se. Well, that technically is a line in the sand. 70. I mean, you could go for it at 70, but why not just wait for 80? Because you do have a Gex Flip there. On top of that, it clears the very small gap that we made. Personal opinion, just wait for 80. I think that's probably going to be the play today. Well, there's a big bar at 5,000, but I like the idea of shorting 80. Because, yeah, that was yesterday's resistance too, right? So it kind of makes sense that would potentially reject that. NQ swept the low. See, NQ's dropping pretty hard right now. At yesterday's low. All right. Amazon's up pretty good. Mixed day. Still hate Tesla. Nvidia down 1.7, Meta down 1.8, Google not down, AVGO. Microsoft shitting the bed. Microsoft just dumped below previous lows, or yesterday's low. One sec, one of my lights just died. We are back. For those who were in class yesterday, there is no recording. Kind of just went off the dome. So yeah. Nvidia's still above the opening price. Yeah, it's holding. Bounced right off opening print. Also previous support. So we'll see what happens. I really hope Nvidia pumps low key. But I also kind of hope it dumps. Because then that's like the last one. NQ just flushed low of day. Again. And yesterday's low. Nothing so far. Okay, small divergence at 50. 50 is AOI right now too, so. This is probably one of the days to sit on your hands. I think we have FOMC minutes, but personally, I never thought minutes ever did anything. Why? Because FOMC minutes is just a repeat of the last FOMC meeting. That's just my personal opinion. Usually, a lot of people always expect like a bigger move. Me personally, I don't, but I could be completely wrong this time. But in the past few times, minutes hasn't really moved the market. You kind of just get, it's not very directional per se. It just seems to chop within the range of the day. 1 year bond auction at 10 a.m. PST. Interesting. Act as acceleration or target in your opinion. Any aggregated levels to keep an eye out on? I haven't checked aggregated, but I'm going to stick to ODTE today because I do think with a lot of the stuff with NVIDIA and the bond auction today will be interesting. 5,000 is here, but it's a very small amount. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. If it does pick up, if we get to the Gex flip, then we'll see what happens if we get above Gex flip. Because if you look at it, if we get back above Gex flip, 5,000 is relatively close, right? Plus we have that gap to fill the 5,000. So that's just something to keep our eye on. Today could be good for longs. Who knows? Kind of just gotta wait and see. Guys, for the stream, I was watching some things to kind of speed it up. Or for on your guys' end, I would put it on like 1.5 speed. So make sure it's on like you have the live red button open on next to the volume, and then or make sure it's red, and then put it on 1.5 speed. I think it's kind of like keeps it up to date a little bit quicker. Sitting on our hands for now. Still don't see anything worth taking. Man, what a snore fest today. Just stay patient, guys. Very meh trading right now. There's nothing going on. Just waiting, guys. Patience. It's 49.80 Gex flip. Yeah, that's what I have marked on my chart for SPX. Those are the levels for right now. $5,000 is very interesting for me today. It is the biggest on de-adjusted, so did I really just miss that? Hold on. Actually trolling. Missed that quick scalp on NQ. This one right here. Would have been a nice rejection, but for what? How many points is that? 93. 972, 20 points or so. Unlucky miss. It is what it is. Clear. Back to SPX. Just sitting and waiting, guys. That's majority of the day, it seems. Want to pump back up. Maybe 5,000 is the one today. Who knows? Let's see. That does have me interested. Very, very. But this Gex flip is right there. NQ with a huge pump. Missed that one. Did not see that coming. What a pump. Holy shit. What a miss. This thing sent it too. Hmm. And then hard rejection. It's just so there's no follow through. Just kind of waiting. If you were in calls there for whatever reason, nice. But funny enough, look at where we rejected. That small little spike on 70. That very light positive bar. But keep in mind, guys, this not a high probability setup. That's not something I would take because it's so negligible and small. I do think it could easily pop over with this gap fill, especially. So. Is this me or does this look like yesterday's? Put a refresh. Okay, there we go. NQ of VWAP with FOMCs could blast through the GEX split. Yeah, it could. It definitely has a chance. That's why it's like today's a tough day to trade. Once again, right? Also, negative data is also harder to trade. So we'll see what happens. Not a huge fan of today. I also think FOMC minutes is like one of the fakest fucking like economic events. Literally just a repeat of the previous one, right? There's nothing new. There's no new information. So I don't know why people react so heavily to it per se. Chop. Can you please describe your optimal GEX trade environment? I like positive, and because it's a defined range, it makes it much easier. Where it's like if you have a positive bar above you, then you can short that, or if you have a positive bar below you, you could easily long that, and that's kind of it. So for me, it's that's probably my most ideal. And it's like if there was a bigger move like from the previous day, and we're sitting within like how do I put it? When we're sitting within like a fib long, and that fib long just so happens to line up with like a positive GEX support. All right, so my thought process here is we broke this 5,000 level, right? Obvious support. Very, very freaking obvious support, right? You guys see that right here? The 5,000 mark. After we broke below, we haven't gotten a single retest of that 5,000 level. So for me, I do think we pop back up to 5,000, especially given that de-adjusted is flashing 5,000. It is pretty big here on raw split. So I do think if we continue to push up, 5,000 is probably the best area to go short. That would be the trade that I take today. So just take that with a grain of salt. We could have an intraday move, but I am expecting 5,000 sometime before shitting the bed. That's just in my head it makes sense to tap 5,000 one time before rejecting all the way, like rejecting more. But I could be completely wrong and we could just shit the bed. So we'll see. But I think being patient here is really key in terms of determining what's going to happen. ES and Q both just chop city. I'm gonna think. 5,000. Possible scenarios at Gex Flip. The Gex Flips act like support and resistance. So why? Liquidos had a good reasoning for it. Better than, I guess he put it together better than what I said. Basically, market dealers don't really want their portfolio flipping from positive to negative because the hedging requirement changes. So they're likely going to try to keep it below, or that's why it acts like support and resistance, right? It's the same thing because they don't want to break above, or else their hedging requirement changes. Absolute snorefest, guys. Just waiting here, guys. There's not much. I'm sitting on my hands. We have that bond auction at 10, and we have minutes, so it doesn't make sense right now. Cold today. Someone tagged me. Let's see. Would it be too off topic for you to share some tips on using TV chart, your tool setups, how you use them for those who... Yeah, I mean, okay, so someone in the Discord chat. Okay, so things for... someone just brought this up because navigating TradingView can be sometimes difficult. So how I kind of use it, you can basically, to zoom in and out, I use the scroll wheel. To expand the chart, I just go click on the pricing scale on the y-axis, and then kind of move it up and down to get the size of the chart I want, right? So if it's just chopping like this, I usually like leaving it relatively bigger, but for the stream purpose, I always zoom out a little bit more. I have my own personal chart open on the other side, right? So like this one right here, I always have my own personal chart open. Just because for streaming purposes, it makes sense to show the labels and everything. But as for my like how I like to view it myself, it definitely makes it a little bit harder viewing it like this because I can't really see the candles, right? But continuing with how I use it, there are certain tools that I use. I use the trend line that I have starred, where it's like trend line, horizontal ray, regression trend. I don't know how to make the favorites pop up, but that's pretty much it. Fib retrace. Honestly, don't even need this because I fixed my box. Let's see what else is there. Long and short position. You can add those in, and then arrow up, arrow down. Just usually that's only mostly for when I'm showing like entries and stuff. I kind of use that. Rectangle. How I have my rectangle set is just white with a 20% opacity, background white with a 20% opacity, and then a middle line dashed or dotted. Yeah, dotted. And that's really it. For the horizontal ray, I have it for a dotted red line, and regular horizontal line, I have a red. And to reset my chart, I usually just go to the price axis, double click it, and it kind of resets it, because most people just hit reset chart view. But for me, once I'm like doing like this, I usually just click that just to size it right back. You can just right click and click reset chart view if you want, though. For me, it's just, I'm so used to double clicking this because it's very similar to TOS, where it's like you double click to zoom all the way back out. But reset chart view is also nice. I learned that recently from Geo. But yeah, that's mostly it. Trend line is yellow. Regression trend, if anyone's curious, this is kind of, why is it not working? Am I losing brain cells? Why no work? Okay, well, anyways, it's not that huge, not that big of a deal. But yeah, I usually just use the y-axis to kind of zoom in and out. That's just how I've always done it. So, and that's kind of what I got used to. Because I can't zoom in like this, because if you zoom in like this, sometimes volume will get in the way. So then you can squeeze it down. Plus, I like being able to free roam a little bit more so. Like this, where it's like, if it's zoomed out, then you can pretty much kind of drag. But if you're zoomed in like this and you're zooming out, it like auto does it. Or if you're dragging across, it kind of auto adjusts the price y-axis scale. But so I usually just squish it down and then kind of look at it like that, if that makes sense. When dealing with ODTE data, does that bring Vana back into play as close? Inherently, yeah, it's always going to, but like during the window of weakness, I don't know how much is kind of negligible, if that makes sense. No, there isn't a good volume profile script for TOS. If you're on TOS and you're looking for a volume profile, the only thing I can really suggest that I know works is just the visible range volume profile, which is just volume profile with a, how do I put it? And you change the settings on the regular volume profile and make it visible range. Absolutely snorefest. Guys, good job sitting here and kind of just waiting, right? There's this, but I do think, wow, what an area to tap. But in my opinion, this is too small for me to really give a shit about like a small, trying to find, I guess, a quick trade. If you want, you could do this, but even then it's like, if you understand that this is a very small range for a fib retrace, then with that being said, you should be taking base hits on that trade, right? VP on trading view, I know you have okay guys, but I see another along the bottom. Another VP along the bottom. Which one more specifically? I have a bunch of stuff, but all this is like VPVR. This is the visible range one, same thing. Is it visible range? I don't even know, but these are all like the old ones that Geo was testing back then. Settings. Okay. Wonder if it looks the same. Is it still loading? Reset that. There we go. You can kind of see the same, but it's not as visible when it comes to the lower volume areas. Fixed range, visible range. Oh, I was trolling. Just sitting and being patient. If there's nothing that comes up, there's nothing that comes up. We also had such a solid trading day yesterday. Scratch that. What's the... Scratch that. It was... It's when you're ES. When you're on ES, not XPX. Maybe. I'm on ES right now. SPX, guys, volume profile does not work for SPX. Why? Because SPX, you cannot trade. So, I don't like that long. Would not take that long. This doesn't look right either, though. This looks a little better, but it's kind of ugly still. Why? 68, 700. Never froze. That's why I was glitching. Hold on. 250. There we go. That's why I was fucking glitching. Nice little flush. What's going on? How do we get the Apex VP? Type in okay, guys, like in the main chat. If you're a sub, then you'll see it. You just have to go to the main trade chat and then type in okay, guys, and then you'll see that pop up with a trading view link. Guys, it's been an hour and nothing fucking happened. You Here, here. I just sent the link, the chat link, so you can see it right there. That's the link. Liquidus posted it because we couldn't find the original one that Geo sent out, so that's the same one. Guys, stop spamming okay guys into the chat. There's no need to type it in, because then the more you type it in, the more people look. They're just gonna see regular, like, everyone else typing okay guys and not the link. I wonder if it's in pinned messages too. Yeah, it is in pinned messages. Not a problem. Guys, sorry this is boring. There's not much happening today. I mean, on top of that, at least we had such a good trading day yesterday that it doesn't really matter what happens today. But I think the, like, around that 10 a.m. mark is probably the best time to come back and look for a trade. Absolute snore fest. Guys, there's not much happening. May as well just end this live, save you guys some time, save your guys' phone battery, because I know some people work. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the live here just because there's nothing going on. If anything, maybe we'll hop back on for the later session at like 10. So I'll let everyone know in the chat. I'll tag out everyone. But yeah, for right now, there's not much happening. I do want to say it's either 5,000 or 49.50 today. There's two choices here, so it's kind of like which side is it going to pick. I think the bond auction is going to play a role, and on top of that, the what's it called? The FOMC minutes will be sort of that choice. So I'm just going to close it here because there's not much happening. And plus, the longer I sit on stream, sometimes the more I feel the itch to take a trade, and I'm like, I stress like you don't have to take a trade every day. So me walking away from this is for my own good. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. If anything, I'll be on chat just because, stream ended early. So everyone have a great rest of your day. I will catch you guys in the chat.